What's up, guys? It's Oblivious Gamer here. And, well, today I just wanted to briefly talk about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. As we all know, the game just released, well, in early access at least, for those that bought the Deluxe and, Ultimate Edition. So, what I particularly want to talk about is not necessarily there's already a lot of reviews out there. It so far has been received surprisingly well. I think in the upper 80s, 85, 86, around that I've seen. So it seems the reception has been pretty well. Obviously, there's some people that are like, no, it should be higher, but I think that's what to be expect with a game like this and what people were hoping in terms of what is delivered. I've been playing it a bit as somebody who really doesn't like arena fighters. I would still say it's not necessarily my jam. I really don't see myself playing this game in the long run. I'm probably gonna play it for a couple of days and then And like I said, in terms of do I see myself playing this 3-4 months? I don't think so. It's not my thing. But it does have a lot of characters. It does have a lot of content. A bit simple with some stuff, but I think it does the job, especially for fans. This is definitely and 100% a game for Dragon Ball fans. This is just everything that you wanted in terms of visuals, in terms of what you experience. Because there's so many moments when transformations happen, when you're doing a super, when you're doing a Kamehameha, you just feel amazing. You just see this visual cinematic. The clashes feel fun. Everything is just made for a Dragon Ball fan. But if you're not a Dragon Ball fan, of course, I don't think this is a game that you'll be enjoying. I think right now, for me, the biggest concern is I feel this could be driven a bit by nostalgia, and nostalgia can be very powerful. People have been longing for a game like this, or a return to the Budokai franchise, and this is it after so many years, and people are just like, oh my god, I remember back in my days, we'd just be playing this, I would be doing this with my friends. So, I think right now, there's a lot of oh my god, this reminds me of my old days, this reminds me of my childhood, this reminds me of this. And, of course, hey, if people are having fun, that's amazing. But my question is, how will the game be looked in the long run? Because we've seen multiple times where games come out, people at the first couple of weeks are happy, and then for some reason, 2 or 3 months, they just turn. They're just yo, this game sucks. This shit sucks. Or, oh my god, this game always sucks. And then, when it came out, everybody was excited, and then, now, months later, everybody's just, shitting on it. So I'm really curious how much will the nostalgia last, and how much this excitement is gonna go. Like I said, I do play a lot of fighting games, so I'm more preferred to that than arena fighters. I do still think there's some elements that are more simplistic in combat. However, they did add a lot of elements that I think add depth and entertainment to the fights. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with the characters that is not just, I would say, mashing. There's a lot of defensive options as well as offensive options. And then also some interesting ways to approach, especially if you're playing rank, where they try to balance things out, because a lot of the concern was, well, there's obviously going to be overpowered characters. That's just how the franchise works. So they have a DP system where each character's worth a point, and you have a limit with how many points, which is 15. So for example, the strongest characters are worth 10 to 9 points. So it makes it really hard to be able to have Beerus and Whis on the same team, or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God Gogeta. You can have them both on the same team. Ultra Instinct Goku with Beerus, you can't, because it hits the cap. So it kind of appreciates, however. For example, you could do have Goku, which is 5 points, and Vegeta, which is 5 points, that's 10. So you still have 2 characters. And you can fuse them and you can get Gogeta. And depending on how many points you have, because there's also this bar that gives you points and you can spend them for transformations, moves, or fusion. Depending on how many points you give, you can actually get a lot of health. So you can also approach it that way. You have two characters, but then it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go fusion here. I do think there is a lot of like other ways that they added depth. It doesn't necessarily mean that combos have to be the only way, but I do appreciate that they added a lot of stuff. So it makes it a little bit more entertaining, interesting. How do I approach this? How do I make my teams? Do I want to go fusion right now since I have Vegeta and Goku in my team? Or do I just want to like leave them separate? Because if you fuse them, and your character gets eliminated, you will also lose like you lose two characters because you fuse them. So there's also that side of like that drawback. So like I said, like I wouldn't say this is a review. This is just mostly like talking the game. Like there's plenty. The reviews came out already like a while back, and copies have been leaked. People have been talking, so I don't think there's much to talk about it. I'm just curious and wondering how much like the nostalgia is going to push the game, and how long will it last before people like we start seeing complaints. Because right now it's reviewed, like I said, it's been reviewed all right, but also on Steam, for example, I think it's like holding a very positive, with like at the time that I'm doing this video, over 3,500 user reviews, with a 94% of them being positive. So hey, Spike might have done a good arena fighter. Like I said, it's alright. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, this is a must game. If you're not a Dragon Ball fan, I don't know if this is gonna be necessarily like something that you might want to get into. There's like, it's very heavily catered towards fans of Dragon Ball and how everything visually looks and feels, and it's the cinematic aspect also. But yeah, overall, I'll be playing a bit more and see what's up with the game. But like I said, I don't necessarily see myself playing this game like 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. It's just me. This is not saying the game is bad. It's just how I feel in like the terms of this being an arena fighter and what keeps me entertained. And also Metaphor ReFantazio is coming out, so I'll probably be playing that a lot too, since I love JRPGs. But yeah, guys, as always though, what are your thoughts? Have you been playing Sparking Zero? Feel free to leave your thoughts down below. This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.